Hi Aries, this is your February 2022 spiritual reading. So I'm going to start by pulling out a few cards so you guys could either stick around and meditate so your energy gets infused in these, or you can skip ahead to when we're done shuffling and picking out. I'm going to take a few cards from multiple decks before starting the reading. And these spiritual readings do tend to be longer, so keep that in mind. All right, we have fear is a luxury, number 6, and expect the best, number 4. We have number 1, a vinor, make peace with your past. Number 14, compassion for others. All right, we have moon, influence. And coffin, inevitable. And we'll do one oracle card. All right. All right, Aries, so we're actually going to start with your oracle card. This is what it looks like. It says Kundalini Shakti. Significant inner shifts are taking place. Energies are beginning to move in new ways. You may feel the resolution is hard to pin down at this time. Lean into unfamiliar territory with boldness tempered by patience. You will become capable of many things on many levels that you were not capable of accomplishing previously. You shall arise, a fresh path is signified. So it feels like you guys are going through another spiritual awakening or a dark night of the soul. It feels like a phoenix rising, but right now you guys might be in the phase where the phoenix is burning to ashes before recreating itself and rising more powerful and anew. We have fear is a luxury and expect the best. During these times, especially these intense transformations, although you guys are the original rulers of the 8th house, which rules transformation and death and rebirth, you guys are going through a major death and rebirth. You're so many parts of yourself that no longer serve you, that are no longer meant to be with you, are falling apart, are dying in a way. And you know, it's hard losing someone outside of us, but losing a part of you, that is a very intense process. And it feels like some of you might fall into fear if you're not careful, again, because it can get very, very dark and gruesome. And like, if you have Aries in your 8th house, transformation is it's like war for you. Like the god Aries, the god of war, he saw blood. Like, he killed everything and anything in its way. And it feels like that's what's happening with you. It's like there are certain things that you have picked up, and certain like these walls that you've built up, this trauma, these traits that you've created based off of trauma and pain you've experienced in your past. It's like they're all lined up, and then there's another part of you who is picking up that blade and going and really destroying everything in its way. All that which is no longer meant for you, that is no longer serving you, is getting destroyed, but it's like bloody and gruesome, of course, energetically. And so you might fall into fear and getting afraid, especially like if you guys are waking up from nightmares, Like your dreams could be very, very intense and very, very even violent at times, but you have to try at least to not fall into fear. And the way to do that is seeing this as a blessing, understanding that this is part of transformation. And for you in particular, the way that you transform, the way that you kill off what no longer serves you is very intense and violent, and all at once. Like for you guys, after a spiritual awakening, you come out of it truly a completely new person. Like people are shocked. It takes others lifetimes to heal the pain and trauma that you're able to heal through one cycle, through one dark night of the soul. And if you've been through this before, you're able to kind of reflect on it and remember that you're going to come out of this and that it's not scary. It's all happening for your greatest good, because if you do fall into this energy of fear, it will drain you. And when you're going through something so intense, you need that balance. You need the night and day. The sun comes up, and then when it goes down and the moon comes up, that's when this transformation really takes place. But when it's morning and you are still living your normal life, you want to have energy to get through it and find some sort of joy and happiness. But if you're going to be letting fear take over you, it's just going to be a lot harder than it needs to be. With Expect the Best, number 44, really, it feels like just let go and surrender to it. Experience it. Don't judge anything. Don't label anything. Like even if you have dreams of like some horrible things happening, you don't need to say, oh, that's bad, that's scary, that's a nightmare. Just accept it for what it is. Accept this transformation that's taking place within you. Accept these energetic events that are happening and just observe it. That way you won't get caught up in it and you won't be afraid, because it's like you're on the outside looking in. You're really embodying your higher self and watching these lower energies transform and alchemize into higher frequencies. Let's see. For a lot of you, the trigger to this may have also been a relationship that you experienced. It may have not been the best. This person may have been abusive, if not physically, verbally and emotionally. They really did a number on you. Like this connection really, really hurt you, but it also triggered this dark night of the soul, which is like if you were already not feeling the best, this like makes you go through this intense journey. So it's like you might feel like, I just want to breathe, like I just need one gasp of air. We have the Magician, the Six of Swords, and we remember that you're not a victim here. You're not, it's, like if I don't know if you guys read like spiritual books and philosophy and psychology, you kind of realize that like you're the one getting wounded, but you're also the one holding the sword. It's just different aspects of you, your lower self and your higher self, your conscious aware self and your subconscious. It's like this constant war, and it never really goes away until we find that peace and that balance, which could take lifetimes. And so instead of rejecting and being afraid of these parts of ourselves, it's just to realize that, oh, that's another part of me, and its intentions are love. Like for example, if like there's a part of you that's very adventurous. For example, I'm just trying to show you what it means to have two different sides. Very adventurous, and you get asked to like go bungee jumping, and this has been on your bucket list, you've always wanted to do this. So, and there's that part of you that wants to go, but then there's a part of you that's terrified and that's thinking of all the worst things that can happen. And it's like trying to get you to not go. It's this fear that's coming up. And instead of, saying, oh, I'm just not going to listen to that fear. I'm going to dissociate from it. I'm going to pick it apart from me and throw it away. Instead, to realize, hey, this part of me doesn't want me to go because it loves me. It wants to protect me. It doesn't want to lose me. It doesn't want to take that risk that something could happen to me. And the moment that you see it for what it is, you're no longer afraid of it, but you're grateful for it, and you're able to communicate with it and, say, hey, this fear is valid, but this is something that I have always been drawn to do. It's an experience I want to have in this human body. So for this time, I'm going to choose to not follow fear and not, be extra cautious. And I'm going to take this risk. This is something that it's necessary for me to do. It's something I long for. And you explain it to that part of yourself. You can even, imagine those different sides of yourself as people and have communicate with them. And the moment you do that, the moment you accept both sides and you're able to tame them and talk to them and find a resolution, you become so powerful. We lose our power when we dissociate, right? When we have this shadow so great that we have no idea what's going on back there, but it's controlling most of our life. And this way, you're pulling it to the light instead of throwing it away, throwing it back in the dark, being ashamed of it, hating it. You're loving it, you're accepting it, you're listening to it, and you're working with it to find a medium ground. And that's when you awaken this magician within you. That's when you truly become so powerful, because every time you bring something out from that dark, from that shadow, it adds to your strength. It becomes something that you're able to tap into, that you're able to use. And it feels like for those of you who find this process a bit scary, whatever it is that you're afraid of, whatever it is that's causing this anxiety within you, imagine it as a completely different person that's having these thoughts that you're having and experiencing these emotions, and talk to it and try to get to know it and see, you're going to see exactly what's going on in that communication. That I'm using your imagination in that way is really going to help you realize that, wait, I'm not a victim. There's nothing for me to be afraid of. I just need to love this part of me, and I need to accept it, accept these changes that are taking place, and really surrender to it. So I know there's something so much greater than me that knows what to do. It knows how to heal me. It knows everything that I need to release, and I'm going to allow it. I'm just going to let go. I'm not afraid. I know it's all happening for my greatest good, and I trust it. And that will be the most liberating feeling when you're going through something so intense, to be so free and to be so unafraid and calm. That will even allow you to, I don't know, it feels like it's going to change this whole process for you. And it's going to allow you to, again, in your normal day, to be back and step back into your power, and to be able to give your attention and focus to everything that you're doing. So you don't have to, when you're going through a dark night of the soul, you don't have to lose your job. You don't have to do bad in school. You don't have to have, break away from connections. You can do it all at once. It's just about surrendering and accepting and going with the flow instead of trying to resist and swimming in these lower frequencies of fear, again, resistance. You don't want to resist, you want to flow, and then everything will fall into place, everything will work out, and then in a few weeks, in a few months, you'll wake up and realize, wow, I don't even recognize who I was a few months ago. I'm so much more powerful now. My life has changed so drastically. Like when you make those internal changes, when you do that inner healing, your external world adjusts to it, right? It changes as well. So yeah, you guys just have to realize it's all you. There's nothing to be afraid of. And it's all aspects of yourself that you're able to work with. And that's kind of how you step back into your power. You step back into, it's like you allow your life to fall back into places when you recognize, like, you are the magician. You are the creator of your reality. You manifested this. It may not be the part of you that you're aware of. It could be your higher self, or even your future self who manifested this change for you in this moment. Because it's necessary. This transformation that you're going through is necessary for what is to come. You're going to be moving in a certain direction, and in order for that to be successful, these changes need to take place now. That's why this may have happened like all of a sudden, like you were fine, and then all of a sudden everything is like falling apart, but it's all because it's gonna come back together in a much more powerful way. Yeah, you're moving towards your dreams. You guys may have been trying to manifest some significant changes in your life, and that's been granted to you, and a part of that is this change, because it's like, for your reality to be what you want it to be, those changes have to first take place within you. So this dark night of the soul, this transformation you're going through, some of you could have actually manifested this, well, not like this exact, you weren't specific about, you didn't know that this was going to be a part of it, but it is. A part of you getting your dreams, living your dream life, is going through this alchemizing your energy and doing that shadow work, doing this intense work. And whatever you find, like whatever memories are popping up, wherever the healing is taking place for you, it's directly linked to what's about to come. So if you guys are feeling like you're having to deal with a lot of past issues when it comes to love, it's because you've been recently trying to manifest new love into your life, and like the one, like a different kind of love. And so this healing when it comes to your experiences and traumas you experience in love have to happen first before this person can come in for you. All right. We have make peace with your past. So a lot of you, this could be that you wanted to manifest a family or a husband or a wife, or like a very beautiful connection, a connection that you've never experienced before in this life. And again, in order to do that, you first have to heal and understand why you had all the experiences and love that you did have, and knowing that it's our subconscious mind attracts our reality, and in your subconscious mind all the definitions are in there, and it happened in the first 7 years of your life. So however you experience love, you might find that you've been attracting love and having experiences with those same archetypes and same patterns that you witnessed as a child and that you experienced as a child. And the first step is to recognize that, okay, like this is why my love life has been the way that it is. So it's not even that I have to forgive these past partners. I have to find the root, and I have to forgive that. Like, let's say, for example, and I'll use myself as an example. Growing up, I did not have a good example of love. Like, my parents were always fighting, always arguing, and always taking it out on me. Like, whenever they argued, they would like pour their poison on me and blame me. And so I always thought that if like my definition of love was it has to be that intense and that chaotic, or else it's not love. I didn't know any better. That's what was instilled within me. And in my relationships, I would find there would be so many arguments and conflicts and really bad communication, not understanding each other. And I realized I'm just repeating what I witnessed and experienced as a child. And in order to change that, I have to go in and first say, hey, I know this is the definition that I instilled in my mind as a child, but I want to change that. And I'm going to pull that weed out, and I'm going to plant a new seed, and I'm going to meditate on it. I'm going to become that love, that new definition of love. I'm going to love myself that way, love everyone around me, to help my mind recognize this as the new definition, to replace what it thinks love is with this new love. And it takes repetition, it takes practice, it takes meditation, until one day that just settles and that becomes the new love, the new definition of love in your mind. And that becomes what you start to attract. And for you guys, the first step is to really take a look at your childhood and honestly look at how you witnessed love, how you experienced love. Was it unconditional? Was there a lot of arguing? Was there abuse? Was there a lot of anger? Was there, alcohol or drugs, whatever it was? Really honestly take a look at that and compare that to the relationship experiences that you've been having. And once you realize that, it helps you forgive all of your exes. Because you realize, wait, I attracted you. I called this experience into my life. And the way I stop that is by healing what I experienced as a child. Let's see. We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, new beginnings. You want a completely new energy to move towards you, so you have to change your own energy and frequency. And as above, so below, right? So make those changes within, pull out that weed, pull out that definition of love, and plant a new one. Plant those new seeds. Plant seeds of unconditional love, kind, generous, understanding. However it is that you want to experience love, plant those new seeds in. And that's how your external world changes, right? As within, so without. So whatever changes you make within in your subconscious mind, you start witnessing externally. And it feels like this transformation that you're kind of experiencing, and it kind of feels out of your control, is helping you deal with that, and is bringing up a lot of memories, bringing up a lot of pain and emotions that you have when it comes to love, and that you may be dealing with a lot of dreams and memories from your childhood, possibly even things that you have forgotten or your brain has hid from you. In order for you to survive as a child, those memories are now coming back, and it is very intense. But the way to deal with it, the easiest way to deal with it, is having compassion and understanding that, hey, my parents, or whatever your example of love was, they weren't perfect either. They went through a lot of pain and experiences, and they hadn't healed in time. Like when they had me when I was a child, they still hadn't healed from that. So they weren't doing this on purpose. There wasn't, you know what I mean? It's like having compassion for them, understanding that, hey, they're the way they are because of their own experiences, their own, however they witnessed love, their own childhood. And once you're able to, not blame, but instead have compassion for and understand, that will calm things down, and that will really help you be able to heal it by letting go of all that anger and hatred, and those very low dense but powerful energies, you have to kind of make peace with it. You have to honor, you have to mourn that your childhood was the way it was, and that you may have lost a lot of your childhood, a lot of your innocence because of things that you saw and that you witnessed. And so the first step for you guys and what you're going through now, big part of that might be this mourning process of, wow, I was never really allowed to be a child. I had to deal with too much as a child. I never had that freedom and that ability to have no responsibilities and just enjoy life. So the first step for you guys might be to, you guys, this reading is so all over the place, but I feel like that's the energy that you're going through right now. Like, it's everything's coming to you at once. You like one memory and then another memory comes up, but it's all happening because everything is connected for you. And it will really help for you to look at it from a higher perspective and look at it from a higher perspective in order to see the divine order in this chaos that's happening. But again, the first step for you guys might be to mourn it, and then to have, to look at everything that happened from a place of compassion and understanding. And then you're able to let it go and then plant those new seeds. But again, most of you right now are going through the more intense parts of maybe, like, again, all these memories all of a sudden coming up, all of these emotions, all of things that you haven't dealt with since your childhood are all popping up in front of you, and you're being asked to deal with it. But you will come out of this, and when you do, your life's gonna be so different. And it's interesting because it feels like the universe, your guides, your ancestors, they're helping you through this healing process. Like, you don't really have to be so intentional about it and going and looking for, answers and where is this stemming from. It's like, it's all in front of you. You just have to be able to look at it and deal with it in order to let it go. We have compassion for others. A big part of you being able to let it go is having compassion for the people that may have hurt you, and been the reason that you experienced love the way that you did. And that compassion it's not easy to do that, especially if some really horrible things happen to you or you experienced or witnessed. But you will get to a point where you're able to put yourself in their shoes and kind of realize, wow, everything they went through made them who they are. You can't blame them. Because if you want to blame them, then you have to blame their parents and their parents and their parents. And that's just going to put you in this cycle of anger and blame. But instead of all that, you're able to just say, hey, I understand why you all are the way that you are, but I'm going to choose to break this cycle, and I'm going to choose to forgive you guys. I'm going to choose to have compassion and understanding, and I'm going to write a new story. I'm going to create new definitions and a new reality for myself and everyone to come after. You're the one breaking these cycles. You're the one doing all of that hard work. It's like everyone else, they avoided it because it's hard, it's intense. You're the one dealing with it all. It's not only all your issues, but everyone that came before you in order to change your own life, and then your children's life, your grandchildren, and everyone that comes after. But it's very intense. Like, what you're experiencing right now, I know I'm asking you to not let yourself get caught up in that fear and in that chaos. And it's not going to be easy, but it is possible. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, a lot of things are popping up for you, because you're meant to see them. You're meant to see how they're all connected. Like, this tree, the top of it is all of these experiences that you've been having. But you have to understand that it's the root of it. Like everything, they all have something in common. And the root of that, again, it stems back to your childhood. And these are just repetitions of everything you've experienced, manifestations of what you witnessed as a child. And to see this, it really helps give you an understanding of like, oh wait, okay, so this is why it happened. It's not like the world is against me. It's not like I have horrible karma from some past life. It's just because this is what's in my subconscious mind. And what I have to do is pull this tree out and plant a new one, and plant those new seeds. So all these experiences that come afterwards are completely different because the root is different. The seed is different. We have the Tower, but again, part of that transformation is pulling out that tree, like killing that tree. Death, chaos, things falling apart in order for something new to be put in its place. And so a lot of you are right now, as you're listening or watching this, you're experiencing that tower moment, that everything falling apart, that tree getting pulled out. It's painful. It's like a part of you is getting ripped out. It's going to hurt in that moment, and it's going to hurt until it heals and it closes up. And then you can, start the process of, okay, now I'm going to decide what I want my new reality to be, and I'm going to plant that seed in. I'm going to plant that tree in. But yeah, you guys, this feels very, very intense. We have the moon influence. The moon, you guys might want to follow the cycles of the moon right now, because you might find that everything you're experiencing day to day is directly tied to the moon. And so it could be that it's during either this next full moon or the one after that everything comes back together, that you have that Phoenix rising experience. But right now, I don't know what moon phase we're in, but and all of this could have started during a new moon, where everything all of a sudden had to get ripped out, and there had to be that clear foundation for you to start from. But yeah, it might be during a full moon that you have that Phoenix rising, and that everything falls back together. Everything comes back. Everything feels normal again for you guys. All right, let's see. We'll do one more spread, and then I think we'll end a reading. This has gone pretty long, 33 minutes, yeah. We have the Fool. Again, this is all happening because you wanted a change. You wanted a new reality. You were really fed up with the experiences that you were having, the events and people you were attracting, and you wanted change. And there may have been a point where you were praying or asking God and the universe to help you, because you don't know what to do. You don't know where to start. And that help, has come. It just might not feel like this is all a blessing in this moment while you're going through the harder parts of transformation, but this is all happening to get you to that reality that you've been desiring. Yeah, it's to help push you forward, to help move you forward, because until you make those changes within, again, you don't move forward. You just become stagnant and you keep living what you've been living. But you wanting this complete new change, this is all what's happening for you. You're headed towards a completely new reality, to joy, to love, so much healing, so much just pure unconditional love around you. A lot of the darkness is being alchemized and transformed to a higher frequency of love and of gratitude and of strength and of compassion and understanding. But this is very intense. This could even be the most intense transformation in Dark Night that you guys ever experience. We have the 8 of Wands because you wanted this to happen very, very quickly. You wanted it. You wanted everything to change. And this is like the fastest way to transform your realities, to heal literally everything at once. And it feels like that's what you guys are going through. So it's intense. It's not an easy process, but there are ways to make it easier. And it's through trusting the universe, knowing that this is what you wanted and this is only a part of transformation. You know, that these things need to be released. They need to be acknowledged and let go of in order for something new to come into its place. And once you realize, oh wait, I wanted this, like I attracted this, I called this change into my life, this is a gift, this is the answer to my prayers, I don't need to be afraid. I'm just going to surrender and experience it and witness it and go through this transformation process with gratitude and excitement of what's to come and of all the ways my life is about to change. All right, Aries, I hope this made sense again, because it felt like just so much information, but not even in order. It's just everything that wanted to come out came out, and I don't know, I just hope it made sense to you guys. If it did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.